Hello, Hema. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good to have you on this call. So, anybody who's listening this conversation, Hema is the founder of Tap Your Talent. It's an online platform that onboard different artists from the different fields of their interest at the same time expertise, whether from the music, whether from the dance or instrument, and so on and so forth, and give them exposure. At the same time, the platform connects them to the directors and the different organization, those who are looking for similar kind of artists for the different events. And Hema is based in the UK. That's the most surprising fact. And she is working for the Indian, she is building rather the Indian artists platform. So Hema, you are based in the UK, and that the Tap Your Talent the platform is focused on the Indian market, or is it for the entire global market? Is it?
Initially, I thought India is a really big market, and there's so much talent in all the states of India. So, the first version is launched in India, but yeah, next year I'm planning to go global because I really want a global exchange of talent. But yeah, currently I've just opened in India.
So how did this happen? You are based in UK. So you are based in UK. You mean to say you migrated to UK, or is it like you born and brought up in the UK?
Well, I was born here, but I did study in India for a couple of years, so I have an exposure of the Indian culture. But then I migrated back to England after getting married. So here I'm settled with my husband, my family, and we run an IT consultancy. So by profession, I'm an IT consultant. So Rapid Dance is a product of my company, basically.
So you are a Brit, is it?
Yeah, I try to be.
So what is your background? Because you said you work as an IT consultant and then you're trying to build this platform altogether. Do you have any background of being as a part of artister as a because usually what happens, whatever initiative we take, it's somewhere we have that influence in our background, whatever you name it, and that makes a lot of impact whether for whatever we are going to do. So with respect to the Tap Your Talent, which is focused on in capturing the Indian talent, why is it specific to talent as in field rather than, because if I'm not mistaken, it does not gonna reap you a lot of benefit from the monetary wise as well.
Okay. Yes, I am not an artist, and I have no talent whatsoever. But yeah, I am an IT consultant. So I thought I can use technology to help artists, like especially artists who are in rural India. So the thought was just like everyone can't go on Indian Idol or X Factor. So let me create a fun platform where we can launch virtual competitions. So that's where Tapper Talents actually started. So we have this structured way of organizing competitions virtually. So anyone from anywhere can sort of compete and showcase their talent. And we have these uniquely themed competitions. So that's how it started. Because the other thing was that being in IT, it's very stressful, and I needed to dance or write. I love writing myself, so those are the things I used to sort of relax myself. So I thought, I'm sure there are lots of other people in this country that want to do something or pursue their passions apart from working, their no, usual 9 to 5 job. So this was like a tech sort of idea where people can just join in from anywhere whenever they have time. It may be after work. You can be a housewife, and while cooking you can run through all the showcase reel. So that was the idea behind it. That's how I started, and it was a fun project for me, to be honest. So yeah.
Okay. So Hema, connecting to the same, because now being a social media platform, having an Instagram as a profile, and the artists themselves are promoting every now and then. How do you see that this entire landscape is changing, and how are you able to add a value? Because the artists themselves have a platform there where they are actually keep on promoting themselves. But when it comes to the Tap Your Talent, it's a new platform. First thing. Second, it's not a very focused platform. Third is there are already some of the companies, if in case you might have heard something which is focused entirely in the Indian market, that is something called as a talent track. Have you heard about this name?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of talent track. Yeah.
And if in case you might have a look at it, they are very exhaustive with respect to the application. How do
Mhm.
you think this tap your talent is one, catering to similar kind of audience? Second is having a competition such as talent track. You are trying to stable, or maybe you're trying to differentiate themselves. And the third, with respect to the Indian taste based in the UK, how are you trying to minimizing the gap rather?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. There are various other platforms, not only Talent Track, like like Behance and quite a lot of platforms. But what I'm trying to create is a unified platform with a set pool of a particular category. It may be painting, it may be writing. So it's basically creating a community of those artists. And what the features that I've added are sort of, we are acting as a bridge between event organizers or even platforms like Talent Track, who are looking for artists, and aspiring artists who want to take that first step towards you know uh, on that career that they dream of. So it's the market for Tap Your Talents is of aspiring artists, um, and not expert artists. So we are trying to help them take their first step, and that's where we picture ourselves. I don't. I want to be the LinkedIn for the creative community. So
So
it's like,
you
yeah.
you operate entirely through the UK. You also have a team in base in India.
Yeah, we use an outsource model. Basically, the teams are scattered in different parts of India. So the development team is in Ahmedabad, the marketing team is in Surat, and the admin team over here. So yeah, that is the model that I'm currently using, and that is very effective and cost effective, basically, for me as well.
It's a typical outsourcing model.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what we use. Yeah, but for the creative side, yeah.
Interesting. So with respect to the Indian talents, recent, if I'm not mistaken, it's not much, hardly 5, 6, or maybe maximum 10 years in the timeline over the last 10 years, is getting a lot of global, I'll say, global exposure. And
Yeah.
with respect to the talents such as the very recent would be, of course, the Diljeet Dosanjh, and
Mm.
they are getting the some of the exposure that probably very few Indian artists have been able to have been able to achieve, or maybe having the access to. How do you see that Indian talents are actually making an impact on a global stage? Because especially since you will be able to relate it very closely, because you yourself is a Brit based in the London or based in the UK itself, and then you also have a base as such being an Indian origin. So how do you see that these things are entirely changing the entire landscape?
Yeah, I mean, India has become very popular in all areas, and art space is just one part of it. So, like from Netflix, Amazon Prime, they're investing a lot on Indian movies and as well as Indian performers and Indian artists, including top Bollywood stars to popular singers to smaller bands, theater artists. They are all traveling around the world more often now to fill this demand of Indian entertainment globally. And you will see a lot of exhibitions worldwide as well of paintings as well as Indian photography. So more and more people as well want to learn Indian skills. For example, dance forms like Kathak and Bharatnatyam. So yeah, the demand is huge and there's a lot of opportunities in different areas, but I think it's mainly on the artists to learn about such opportunities, prepare themselves, and act on such opportunities and take the step forward. There is a lot of competition, and there are also a lot of complexities involved to go global. So an artist has to be ahead of the game to enjoy these opportunities. I mean, the demand is huge, but also the artist needs to learn how to go about these things, because there are a lot of companies sponsoring artists. Like I'm based in Leicester, and very frequently all these popular performers come here, like Kumar Sanu, Falguni Pathak, all of them, they perform over here, and like thousands of people go and see their shows. Small restaurants have Indian bands playing regularly, so there's a lot of change around in the whole world. We want Indian art to be around us now. So yeah.
Okay. So when you mention about organizations or the events are having access to these bands or those artists,
Hmm.
so your most of those clients are based in UK or they are based in across globe, because I understand you, because when it comes to the monetary wise, of course a company based in the UK will be more than able to not only having will be from the monetary per se they'll be not much more profitable, but at the same time it's they'll be able to pay much more larger lump sum to the artist as well. So is your events or the organization that you have a tie-up with, are they largely based in the UK or they are based in India and the other spaces as well? Or is it like more on an on-demand basis? They come to your platform, they get an access to those artists or the band or so on and so forth, and that's how the transaction get over. Is it?
Yeah, I mean, mostly, as I said, at this point of time, Tapio Talents, if you're talking about Tapio Talents, it's specifically for Indian clients and not UK, uh, UK clients. Uh, but my vision is to open it for the UK network, because over here I am quite connected with organizers and event managers that organize all these platforms. But for a specific reason, because this is a startup, I do not have that infrastructure to manage that. So I haven't opened it in England, but the platform has the features to go global. Hope that answers your question. Is that what you
Of course,
asked me? Yeah.
of course, of course. From the profitability perspective as well, that's going to be a major chunk for you as well.
But it is definitely going to be very helpful for the event organizers over here to look up artists from different states of India. So that is the plan. Yeah, that is the plan.
Okay. Okay. So one more thing I wanted to ask you, because I have been to the theater altogether for a very long time and have performed for quite a few shows as well. What I have seen personally, there's a lot of exploitation with respect to pay, and the
Mm.
same other ways as well happens. How do you ensure that these exploitation or the artists, those who get onboarded from your platform, does not happen? Simple, if I have to put it in a very straightforward.
Um,
Is there
to be
sort of
honest, I wouldn't be able to comment on companies who exploit artists. But as far as Stepper Dance is concerned, um, artists are totally free to register and join the art community. There's no charge. I mean, if you compare it with talent track, yeah, they have to pay a fee to be a part of the community. That is their basically revenue model or whatever it is. But for Tapu Talents, we have tried not to charge any artist. On the contrary, we will be asking the organizations to pay for the services. Um, it's I think personally, I think nowadays it's very difficult to be exploited, because let's say if I'm exploited by a company, I would just straight away go on social media and defame that company, and which will go viral in minutes. So personally, I just think artists need to be cautious who they are connecting with, what kind of contract they are signing with the company. But I think the time has changed as well. We artists are less likely to be exploited. Well, that's my personal view. Yeah.
okay? Okay. So the reason I ask, because though I understand that we have a access to the social media, so if in case of anything goes wrong, it may get viral immediately or somebody post it around. But the point is, having such platform also have to make sure is something like making it, giving a surety that boss, this is something is there, which
Mm.
is very very authentic, and at the same time it also gives me the sense of safety with respect to reaching out or onboarding myself over there, because I know there is a credibility involved with it. So from that angle, I wanted to ask you.
Okay, yeah, as far as organizations that which we will be onboarding on Tepper Talents are concerned, we will be verifying them, we will be talking to them. We really try to onboard organizations that have the same vision as Tepper Talents, which is which is the benefit of artists, basically. That's what we are trying to do here. So, yeah, I mean, is that what you wanted to know?
Yeah, that actually
Sorry.
helps. That gives an answer to that question, because the major chunk, or the major part is comes whenever you are onboarding an organization to your platform. There
Mhm.
have to be some multiple checklist that has to be adhered to before we even onboard anybody else, and that itself is a first criteria where one can be sure that, boss, this is something is the genuine one.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we connect with the organization, sort of ask them what kind of requirements they have. Is Tapper Talents the right platform for them? So that's how we sort of are processing things at the moment. So, and we hope to do it that way. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So my next question, since now you come from the IT consulting background altogether, I think this will be very relevant for you. With the AI, that's artificial intelligence, getting into the everything and anything, and luckily it has not even left the entertainment industry as well. If in case you are familiar, last year there was a major strike almost for the 3 months from the Hollywood industry, because most of the artists, story writers, they were pitching for it that our job should be saved, our payment should not be cut off. How do you see? Because I know someone who is very very dear friend of mine, and he himself is started not only the creating a video entirely from the AI, but at the same time he started making a music from it, creating an actor. So it's entirely a small short video that is coming across. And that is making a major move with the deep fake and everything. How do you see that AI is actually revolutionizing rather the entire entertainment industry? And because you yourself, the tap your talents is actually getting into there.
Right. Okay. Well, it's quite scary, to be honest. Okay, so I'm an IT consultant by profession, so I have to keep myself updated with all emerging technologies. So I've been studying about AI, types of AI, its usage, its benefits, etc. And I'm genuinely worried for the next generation. Everyone's indulged in the present, how cool AI is and how it can save millions and how it can generate millions, etc. But no one is thinking about the future and the various ways it can be misused. Just I'll give you an example. For example, when polythene was discovered, it was like a revolution, and its use was widespread throughout the planet. And although there were various benefits at that time, no one actually thought about the planet or the billions of supermarket bags that will be around the world currently waiting to be biodegraded. But we can see the result now, its impact on our planet, right? So we could have used plastic responsibly. It's the same situation. No one is thinking about the creative industry, which generative AI will soon take over. Um, for instance, why would we need writers when AI can generate an article or a poetry literally on any topic within seconds? Why would we need music composers when AI can produce music for any song within seconds? And why would we need a singer when AI bots can sing a song in any voice, in any language within seconds? Again, why would we need influencers when an AI avatar can act and deliver any dialogue you give it? You can easily also like generate any pictures or paintings by a click of a button. So yeah, I mean, imagine the millions AI powered tools are gonna make, um, and on the other hand, the redundancy of these artists. Imagine the imbalance it will cause, the recession it will bring. So these are my thoughts, Kamal. Sorry, I'm going on and on about it, but I wonder, would future schools even teach art? Or would they teach how to use an AI tool to generate art? Um, yeah, so as far as Tapetanus is concerned, yes, some people will upload AI material, which we will need to deal with. There will be an issue of plagiarism, However, we will use AI power, for instance, to enable intelligent search capabilities. So there are good things about AI. It's just using it responsibly. But yeah, but the threat is real. It is scary. The best thing we can do is just to be prepared for all kind of situations and use AI responsibly. That's what I have to say about AI. Yeah, yeah.
I think that's a very valid point because threat, as you said, the threat is real. With respect to any industry, you name it, AI is getting into. But the reason why I wanted to highlight because entertainment or maybe something musician or singer or dancer or painter or some their entire bread and butter come from a very skilled or very specialized field of I'll say a specialized field of a skill. But if that is entirely being replaced by something that can make it much better, the only thing probably might be missing is with respect to human touch. But the human touch also comes when it comes to the feel like music or the live performance or something like that. But when it comes to painting and all, the threat is, as you said, it of course totally and it is real the way it is.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, we are living in an era where multinational companies like Microsoft, Google are investing heavily in AI projects, and we are moving into a future where AI will dangerously be intelligent and humans will become dumb with no creativity whatever whatsoever, being heavily dependent on AI. So at Tepotaras, we're trying to keep this creativity alive. So let's see. I don't know what will happen, but we'll try.
Okay. No, I understand because we are also evolving with the platform, and at the same time, as you said, the future is very uncertain. We ourselves are not clear that what is actually going to happen with respect to the Gen AI. Seema, with respect to the again coming back to the Tap Your Talent platform, post pandemic, I myself have seen there is a surge in with respect to the live performance globally and the same time in India. How do you see that Tap Your Talent platform has actually been benefited or actually have benefited from these one live shows or for that matter these artists have actually got benefited from one is from the surge in demand, second is from the having a talent because they are already onboarded.
Okay, well, Cafe Talents is a virtual platform, Kamal. So currently no live activities are scheduled. But yes, Cafe Talents wants to act as a bridge, as I told you before, between event organizers, venues which host live gigs and who are looking for artists to perform regularly, and that can be England, USA, or in India itself, and the artists who are looking for such type of work. So basically that is going to be our role, if that makes sense. So we want the organizers to be a part of the platform, we want the artists to be a part of the platform, and we want them to connect and sort of collaborate with each other. So our platform is to enable that using technology, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Any success story that some of artists have actually got benefited from the Tap Your Talent platform?
Welcome. We seriously wish success to all our Tapu Talents members and all who win the competitions, and we try our best to promote them. Now, majority of our members are aspiring artists, as I mentioned before. But since its launch, I have specifically seen the rise of one of our artists. His name is Noel Joseph. He's also our brand ambassador for music, and he's created the jingle for Tap Your Talents as well as the anthem for Tap Your Talents. And I connected with him when he won the music competition on Tap Your Talents, which had the theme dance music. And his entry was unconventional, and I knew he had a spark. And since then, he shares all his projects and progression with me. And recently, he told me that has he has signed his first movie as a music director in South. which I think is a major achievement. So now, I'm not saying his success is due to Tap Your Talents. It's entirely his own talent, his networking, and his passion that has brought him to this level. But I can proudly say that he is part of the Tap Your Talents family and has a lot to offer. He's also planning to launch a music course on Tap Your Talents, so aspiring musicians can benefit from it. So yeah, that's one artist that comes in my mind at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So when did this Tap Your Talent have started your journey, by the way?
Okay, well, Capital is started as okay. Let me go back. So it was when I watched the movie Three Idiots, and I realized that people are happy when they do what they love doing, when they pursue their passions. But everyone is not lucky enough to do that. So Talents just was a thought, and it was sort of like a seed in my mind, and then eventually I launched a fun version of this, so anyone from anywhere can sort of showcase their talent, and sort of encourage them to pursue their passions. That's how it started, basically. And then eventually it's evolved and scaled up with new features and all. So yeah.
प्यार झूठा था जताया ही क्यों, प्यार झूठा था जताया ही क्यों, ऐसे जाना था तो आया ही क्यों, ऐसे जाना था तो आया ही क्यों। जिंदा करके जिसने मरना सिखाया है, चला गया फिर वो कभी ना आया है। चूरा घोपा मेरे सीने में जिसके जख्मों पे मैंने मलहम लगाया है। किसका गुस्सा अब तू झेलती होगी, कौन तुझे अब खुल के हंसाता है। बात नहीं करी तो नींद नहीं आएगी, अब भला तुझे कौन सुलाता है। सारी चालाकियां मुझे सिखा देती, छोड़ के जाना था पहले बता देती। हाथ से एक दफा खाना खिलाया था, अच्छा होता उसमें जहर मिला देती। मुझे फंसा कर नोचने वाला तेरे दिल का वो परिंदा कैसे है जो कहती थी छोड़ा तो मर जाऊंगी मैं, आज भला वो जिंदा कैसे है। ओ बेदर्दया यार बेदर्दया।
Okay. So you reach out to the artist as well to onboard them, or is it like you pick there some of the performance and then you post it on your platform by tagging them?
No, Kamal. I don't think you've done your research, but Tapatal, you are free to register as an artist, as an organization on Tap Your Talents. So we don't really go and pick artists. Artists come. They mainly love competing, so we have a range of competitions running on Tap Your Talents. So that is something we sort of that's our USP, basically. Structured competitions. Even organizations can launch their own competitions on our platform. So that's how it works, basically. And all these artists register and can use the other features of the platform as well.
And do you charge from these organization event managers to onboard them, but not from the artist, right?
Yeah. So currently, the organization's user type was embedded this year. So we have a promotional offer. So all the first 100 organizations, we won't be charging them. We will just be helping them bond into the ecosystem. And yeah, as far as artists are concerned, they are free to register. We do not charge them anything at this point of time.
Okay, okay.
Even
So
competitions are free. Yeah.
do you also have a tie? So these are the organization event manager. Do you also planning to tap into the casting directors or movies directors or so on and so forth, music directors and so on and so forth?
Yeah, so Kamal, just to clarify, we have 7 different categories, and like yesterday, I talked to an organization who onboarded Tap Your Talents. So he is a art merchandise. So like he creates products which are designed by artists, and he is looking for artists for them. So basically, we're not only onboarding casting directors or event managers. There are also other areas where people need artists, if that makes sense. So even for photographers, there are other organizations who need photographers. Basically, it's not just casting directors that we are trying to attract, if that makes sense. So acting and dancing is one category there on tap returns, but we also have painting, creative writing, photography as one of the categories on the platform. So there's a wide variety of organizations that can benefit from being a part of the ecosystem.
Correct, correct. Hema, based traditionally, if in case you, I know this might be applicable for most industry, but keeping this entertainment is one of the industry which is yet to be regulated. If I have to put in a very simple word, though it is regulated, there are a lot of initiative, and this is again I'm talking from the Indian perspective. There's a the entire industry is not very regulated, very well established. There's not much of policies, and the reason, going back to my question, there are a lot of exploitation involved. Now, coming back to the same as well, because when it comes to the payment part, when it comes to the pay parity, right? There's a lot of differences when it comes to the what is being paid to the male artist and the female artist. Now, there is always an expectation when there is something, an organization initiative coming your way. Probably this may get little, I'll not say widened, rather it may get shortened, or it may get somewhere close to equal. How do you see that a platform like either Tap Your Talent or the Talent Track may be able to bridge that gap?
So you're specifically talking about gender gap? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes, gender gap with respect to the pay parity or the payment part.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's not just arts. I mean, in every field, really, men dominate. Like even in IT, I've always been the only woman in a meeting room where no one, takes you seriously. And in business as well, I've recently noticed that there are very few female founders compared to, male founders. But
Sorry to cut you off, but
uh,
there is a catch there. And the reason I wanted to highlight that, when it comes to the industries like IT, when it comes to the industries like which is established, there's a lot of policies come, there's a lot of much of regulations come. But when it comes to the entertainment industry, it's not, as I said, it's regulated yet. And the regulations are very scattered. It's not very polished regulations are there. And the reason my question was,
I don't know if I would agree with that because now, let's just talk about acting. I mean, the it's not that we don't need female actors. In a movie, you will see that they have a prominent role as well. There are more female-led movies as well. Like Vidya Balan, Kangana Ranaut, they dominate. So things have changed, I think, and they are paid equally. If I'm not wrong. Also in other areas of art like painting and writing and all. I mean, globally there are female writers that are so popular over here compared to male writers. There are more female painters that I know, and they are highly paid. So I think maybe you're talking about 20 years ago, where there was an imbalance. I agree. But now things are changing, I think, and women are given equal opportunities. It all depends on their talent. So, me being a woman, I totally understand the struggles of women because we have to go through different life phases. So, the only thing that stops us is when we become, when we get married, when we become a mother, and things sort of slow down and our focus is lost. That's when I think companies sort of think, okay, you know what, she's not performing that well. But if you have talent, irrespective of your gender, I think you can grow if you have that passion. So that is my my personal belief. I've like everyone has their struggles. Me being a woman, I have had my struggles, but I have fought through it. And now, in this day and age, there are opportunities. As I also said, for female founders, there is a lot of support available. So, people are giving more support to females now compared to, olden days. So, yeah, that's what I think.
well,
And
I'm actually disagree to it, but nevertheless, we will have to agree to disagree point.
But okay, first of all, Tapu Talents. First of all, let's talk about the platform. It doesn't discriminate against gender. All are free to join, and because this is a virtual platform, it is actually more accessible to women who are, for instance, housewives, but want to continue to pursue their passions, or are working somewhere but want to take a break to and continue their passions. So basically, it is open to all, and I think women are more benefited from the platform because it's a virtual platform. So, and we also sort of promote competitions like Super Moms Dance Challenge, which was really cool, where we saw lots of moms coming out of their shy zone and performing like pros. So we sort of also encourage women to, pursue their passions. So that is something from Dr. Talent's, perspective. So, yeah. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll take that point because when it comes to the exposure, of course it does. But when it comes to the gender parity, I think we have a still long way to go. You may
So,
disagree, with it, but
yeah,
certainly we have a long way.
this has happened first time that a man is saying that there is an imbalance, and a woman is saying no, it's fine, we are balanced. So, yeah. All
No, no.
right.
The intention of asking this question is not from the top talent. The intention of asking this question when it comes to the junior artists, or even for that matter,
Mm,
supporting artists, or even for that matter, those who actually enabled the entire performance. But I understand as a platform, you can give the exposure, but with respect to what organizations are paying and if it is being followed by them, it may be to an extent can be mandated by having something into the while onboarding such organization this pay with there. But again, a lot of things might not be in your control, and it's difficult to regulate too as well from as an individual perspective unless it's been imposed by the central body or something likewise, and or at an institution for that matter. I mean,
mm.
you may have a different way to look at it, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I understand your point, but I mean, I have never experienced this that, okay, for a particular job, a male is being paid
Yes,
higher than,
in
yeah,
that
male.
you I would suggest you to stay in Mumbai for 6 months. You will realize that for sure. Nevertheless, so what's your future aspiration with respect to tap your talent as an organization?
Okay, right. So I've already mentioned that we are onboarding organizations this year. So my focus has been marketing the platform's new features, which are first of all, we've added a module where an organization can post their jobs and manage the job applications in a structured way. So that's one module we added. The second module we added is where teaching institutes like or schools can sort of launch their free courses for marketing or even paid courses, so they can earn some passive income. So that's on board. We also added a module where art senior artists or organizations can showcase their shops and their products and sort of divert the traffic to their website. So that's all in. Organizations can run their ads on Tap Your Talents, and they can also launch competitions. One of the best marketing strategies to use. So they can launch their own personalized competitions on Tap Your Talents as well. So these are all the features that we've added in the last 6 months, and I'm heavily promoting them. And next year, as I also mentioned, I want to open Tap Your Talents globally so that we can have a global exchange of talent. So that will be a milestone for me. But yeah, I'm trying my best, but there's a lot of hard work and dedication and focus required from my part, to make my vision of making Tap Your Talents the LinkedIn for the creative community and a reality. So there's a long journey for me, but I just have to, I'm quite positive and I'm sort of working towards it. Yeah.
Okay, so your focus with the tap your talent is gonna be majorly for the Indian artist, or you also gonna open it to the artist based in the Western countries as well, whether it's UK, US, and so on and so forth? Or is it predominantly for the Indian artist and the global audience?
It is for the Indian artist for now, but after some market research, I realized that the artists from other countries are also struggling. It's real basically. Even in America, I've seen so many artists where they want a platform like Dapper Dance. So yeah, I do want to open it for global artists as well. But because the theme of Dapper Talents is very Indian and everything's very Indian at the moment, it's only open for the Indian artists. But yeah, the possibility is there. I want to help artists globally, but it's a big thing. It's a big thing for me at this point of time. Yeah.
True, true. Because when it comes to the, if I look at from the artist, everybody is looking for exposure. Everybody is looking to sell their talent and so on and so forth. And I understand, considering India such as a vast country, it has a full of talent, but at the same time, other countries have a lot of offerings with respect to the entertainment. So clearly, there's a lot way to go further. So my last question is: whenever an artist, those who are trying to onboard themselves with respect to the Tap Your Talent platform, what is the one piece of suggestion that you may offer? And at the same time, if somebody wants to gain an exposure to the global audience, how do you, what is your piece of suggestion precisely, other than what they're already doing through the Instagram or the other social media platform?
Yeah, I mean, I always advise artists that besides talent, they need to come out of their cocoon and learn to promote their talent too. They need to brag about their talent. They need to tell the world, okay, see, this is what I can do, this is my work. So like if you see the most successful artists out there know how to market themselves. Some are not even that talented, but one thing they know is the art of marketing. So basically, artists need to grab every opportunity which will make them visible, connect with anyone that can help them, get over there. And they always need to be open to showcasing their talents. It can be anywhere, like in a wedding, if someone says, okay, dance karke dikhao na. So they should be ready, sing karke dikhao na. So they should be ready and they're not shy out. Because I know a lot of artists, they just don't want to open up, basically. So, and the other thing is, don't chase money. I mean, I know, chase opportunities. That's one thing. Because I have seen a lot of artists, they do get opportunities, but there's like, how can I manage this? How can I do that? So they then resist taking that opportunities. They just resist taking that first step. But you don't have to worry how you're going to do it. You just have to grab that opportunity, so, and always, whatever phase of your career you are at, I think you should always stay humble. That is a very important thing, because sometimes you do reach that peak of success, but then you come tumbling down if you have that ego. So that's something I experienced. And finally, never stop dreaming, because if you don't have a goal, you don't have a journey, basically. So be passionate about your dream, because that is also one thing a lot of artists sort of don't have, is when they hit failure, they get demotivated and their passion is gone. But I think you have to be very strong and keep on going. If you see all these biopics and you learn about these successful artists and you know about their journey, it wasn't easy for them, but they just kept on trying and trying and trying and made the right choices and grabbed each opportunity that came their way. So that is something, from my side. Yeah.
Perfect, Hema. I guess if I have to summarize in a very one word, is do not give up, keep dreaming, stay focused,
Yeah, that's it is. Yeah.
and showcase yourself on a regular basis. So yeah, I guess this gives a new perspective with respect to Tap Your Talent. And frankly speaking, if I have to say with respect to the online platforms such as Tap Your Talent, or even for that matter, Talent Track, it's in need of an hour. It certainly is need of an hour. The reason being because the way it's been operating in India, personally, if you'll ask me, it's very scattered. It's There's no central way to operate it, and they we all know there's a demand, but there's no platform other than the. It's difficult for the artist and the same time the director to reach out and connect to them. So that is certainly is a need of an hour, and if it is executed rightly, there is no look back. There is a real potential market, not only from the Indian market, even for the global market. So of course, it's a bigger opportunity.
Yeah, so I am always learning, Kamal, and I'm always gathering feedback. So, and then I build up gradually. So, some people think I'm going very slow, but I just want to make it the way the artists want it. I just don't want to just, build something and then it would be of no use. Uh, so, yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Hema, to talk about the tap your talent. As I said, there's market is huge, potential is massive, and if it is being executed, there is no look back. So thank you so much for your time. And anybody who wants to look into the Tap Your Talent, I will be sharing Tap Your Talent social media handle along with Hema's detail. And probably if you are someone or know someone who is looking to get a multiple better exposure, probably I personally would like you to register on the Tap Your Talent because the good part is it's a free. So anybody who wants to support, I would love them you guys to follow and go and record their Instagram page because they are doing a real great job. So thank you so much, Hema, for your time, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the invite. Thank you very much.